All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Crypto Wolf back again. I know it's been a little bit of, a little minute, but honestly, since the last video I made, it's basically been doing exactly what I said it was gonna do, like down to a T. So many times I thought about making a video being like, I told you so, but I held back. I was trying to be humble, trying to stay calm and be humble. But okay, so I guess I wasn't right there for a minute, but that's because yeah, I was right. So what you gonna do? But anyways, the point of this video here real quick, if you haven't already seen it from anybody else, I don't know if anybody other than Crypto Face has talked about it. I don't watch enough of other people, so if they did, whatever, I guess you hear the same thing, but maybe in a more entertaining fashion. But what we have right here, this is the weekly chart, and I just blew all that up by bringing all that back, but this is the weekly chart over here, and what you see, we didn't have just one yellow X right there, but now we got two. And if you don't know what the significance of that may be, shall be, if I could stop doing that, is, look at that. Tell me where you see any other yellow X's. This chart's got less X's than I do. Although I guess that's not saying much because there's only two there. But if you count the little red ones, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, 8. Okay, it's still got less than me, so we're good. We're good. But if you don't know yet, if you are not familiar with Market Cipher, it is the indicator down here at the bottom, as well as some things up here. Got plenty of videos, especially my what is Market Cipher video breaks it down, I think, very nicely, if I do say so myself, and I get into all the different pieces and parts and all that good stuff. But you have Market Cipher A, which is up here on the candles, Market Cipher B, which is this behemoth down here, and you've got the DBSI, which is these little numbers above and below. I think it's like 20 or 25 candles or something. But a part of Market Cipher A, these little indications that show up above the candles are these yellow X's. These yellow X's are like, you can call them a couple different things. You could call it like market manipulation indicators, potentially, or like whale move indicators, but they are always to the downside. They are always a bearish indicator. And on top of that, we also have 18 on the bearish side of the DBSI. And just if you're unfamiliar with that, you know, the higher the number, the more bearish or bullish it is. And you generally tend to see like a trend. So you got 1, 16, 21, 24, 25, and then it's come back down 18, pump up a little bit, 19, now we're down to 10. Then you get into the negatives where it flips, and up here you'll have the high numbers. And so we are coming off of just a wee little bounce right here. But again, this is the weekly chart, so it's not going to be as flowing as it would be on a smaller chart, because a lot happens in a week. So we were, you know, -3 up here on the bearish, and then whoop, now we're -3 on the bullish, and we got a nice red candle right there for you. Now zooming out a little bit, because you know that's not everything that is going on at the moment, but that's just one of the more interesting ones because it is a little more rare. You know, you don't, obviously, to not only have one on the weekly chart, but two now, may be a harbinger of things to come. We shall see. But down here on Market Cipher B, a red wave got rejected, and we are now heading down again. Now, it is a bit too early to tell if, you know, this is going to take a bigger dump. I believe either the last video I made or the one before that, might have been on a slightly smaller time frame, but I was like, okay, you know, I'm waiting to see if we round out, because you can get kind of waves like that, you know, it oscillates. But also we have right here this yellow line. If you're watching other people's channels, it might be, you know, filled in yellow, but this guy's the VWAP, and the VWAP is now trending down. We do have, you know, a lower high on that guy as we start trending back down a little bit, so that's kind of bearish in and of itself. And you would know if the VWAP crosses over the 0 line, in this case to the downside, we get a little red dot, just a little extra indicator there that that is happening. These waves are also getting a little tighter, so we'll see. It's too early to say for sure that this VWAP's gonna, you know, take a big run down, and the money flow is gonna run down, and the momentum's gonna run down. We shall see. You know, the RSI is hovering out around the bottom, and just to be clear, you know, this could stay green and it could bounce around here for a little while as the price action goes down. It's a possibility. So let's look back over here on the weekly chart and see, okay, we're definitely not at the previous low point on the money flow. Could it be a combination of factors? Maybe the fact that there's just overall more money in Bitcoin and in crypto than there was back then? Potentially. But another, let me pull, pull this down here. One other interesting thing that I did notice, my bad, you're gonna have all my spider lines and scribbles, which I'll get into that here in a second. But looking at the last bear market, you know, it definitely started as money flow was going down, as it was decreasing. And we did have this bottom over here as money flow hit the lowest point. This, I mean, look at, it's hardly even a comparison. We have had much bigger, and again, this is the logarithmic chart, so it's going to look a little bigger regardless, but you know, bigger and longer and steeper for that matter bearish action over here, despite not having, you know, what you might think is a big corresponding drop in the money flow. So I'm not 100% saying that it's gonna come down this far. You know, anything can happen, but I'm certainly weary of the fact that it quite easily could. And given, you know, external factors, you know, the way the economy is, and there's still not really being any high hopes of, you know, a soft landing or a quick bounce. You know, people can talk all they want, but the fact of the matter is there really isn't much hope in sight just yet. And that's going to affect everything. I know back in the day we would be saying like, okay, if, you know, the stock market's doing bad and the dollar's doing bad and all this and blah, 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 and inflation, you know, the crypto would be good because crypto's a hedge against inflation. Well, you don't really hear that much anymore because it's been a little bit more mirroring traditional markets, which is sad. But at the same time, as more and more larger investors and institutions get involved in crypto, you know, they're going to make similar decisions as they do with everything else. If they're pulling money out, and you got to think, you know, maybe, you know, they're not exactly crypto bros. If they're pulling money out of the market for whatever reason, where are they going to look first? They're going to look at the, you know, the riskier investments in their opinion. And obviously they would probably consider Bitcoin one of their riskier ones. So if they're trying to pull back to safety, they're going to be pulling money out of the market. But kind of went off on a tangent there, but yeah, so that's kind of where we're at over here. That's the weekly. Real quick, I'm gonna jump to the daily just so you can see something a little closer. In this case, you know, money flow is heading down, and obviously it's a little bit more common to get these bigger dips in the money flow over here on the daily, which of course, you know, the previous low is like down here, and the RSI still tight together, pointed down again, and it definitely has some breathing room to the downside. So possibility on that guy also. Now potentially could see a little uptrend in the momentum waves. I don't know, I'm kind of split on that one. Generally you would see something like this, kind of like a anchor trigger type situation, even though this one's a little bit more of a trigger wave really. But you know, anchor, rather larger trigger, but you know, you generally tend to see when things are going up that you actually have like a, I don't know, a higher up momentum wave following. So if this guy does start clipping and rolling and coming up, there's a little bit more potential. If we, even if it comes up a little bit and then dips, you know, we could get a little snaggletooth momentum wave coming down here. So still early in the game, you know, VWAP is potentially heading back up. You know, still down in the negatives, but the most important thing is going to be the money flow. You know, where the money flows, the price goes. But okay, so looking up here, come back up to the candlestick charts here. So you can see there is a whole menagerie of lines going on here. If you don't know, these are spider lines. Spider lines are just a nifty little trend line trick that you can do, that props to Crypto Face, learned it from him. I forget who he said he learned it from, but they tend to play out quite spectacularly. And so as you can see right here, we came down, bounced a little shy of that one, but just on this recent one, came right down to it. And if you were to come over to a shorter time frame here, you can see we came down, hesitated for a little bit. As soon as it broke through, crashed through, found support over here. Actually bounced around in between these two a little bit before coming up, hitting resistance, tried again, hit support, and these white dashed lines are not spider lines. These are actually just some local support resistance lines that I was about to delete, but then they kind of keep coming into play. So screw it, I'm gonna leave them there for a minute. I mean, look at this. Over the weekend when we were just going sideways, it literally just bounced in between these two like a channel. And I mean, I've had these guys up here for a minute now. I mean, those guys have been in there from videos like, I don't even know, like a couple months ago. But they keep playing out, so I'm gonna keep them in there. Now, back to what I was talking about in the last video here. I made one when we were right up here talking about it's likely going to break out to the downside. What did it do? It broke out to the downside. Pat on the back for me. And I said, the one thing I'm watching for is if we come back and retest it. If we retest and get rejected, the targets are going to be in this range right here. Now, we have not reached either of those targets. This first one is basically just the bottom of the pattern. Just plain and simple, previous low. So that's where that guy's at. The next one is a little bit more of a measurement off of that channel. Coming down there, just so happens to line up perfectly with a spider line. Look at that. I actually just drew This one was already there. I drew these, and I'll get to that here in a second. And we got a couple, matter of fact, I can get rid of these. Some of these older golden pockets up here. I may leave, let's tell you what, we're going to extend this one out. Just in case it does some Superman shit and comes back up here. I want to see if it bounces off. Which we also have a spider line right there. So that may be a good little take profit point if we do continue up. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on in the macro sense. You know what? I'll get rid of that guy too. You know, we broke out, came back, retested. Oh shit, you could almost just... Which is kind of interesting. I actually had a line right here going across the top of this little channel. If I'd have left it there and just let it go, that would have been a freakishly accurate resistance level right there. But that's okay. But back to the spider lines. So we have them going across all the old ones that just turned dark blue, so they don't really jump out the screen so much, and it doesn't seem like such a hot mess. I'm gonna hide these. So we have our kind of golden spider lines right there, which is about the range that we're in right now. So if you're wondering, you know, potential levels coming up, we have like a 20k 20.8 level. Obviously we're floating around the 19.5 area right now. We got this previous little dip with the double line at like 18.3, 18.5. But then if we do go below that, the next one's floating around about 17k. And then of course this target area over here at like 16.5. And if we do punch through that, we have a little bit of a gap. I mean, there might be one that could fill in right here, but I'm really not trying to push it and drawing them off of every single candle over there. But then we get into these ones. I got them purple down here. This is like the danger zone. This is like Tom Cruise in an F-14. It's dangerous. We got like 14.5-ish, 13.8, down to like 12.5. And we got this guy right here, this golden pocket that seems like it's just floating out in la la land, starting in at about 10.8k, bottoming about 9,500. And if you're thinking like, that shit'll never happen, it's not going that low, it can't possibly. Well, I don't know, maybe not. But if we do start getting down there, that is a very strong area that I'm going to be watching for some serious support at. I mean, I got to imagine if we get down to like 4-digit price, everybody and their brother is going to be taking that opportunity to buy it up. But what this is this is actually the trend-based fib golden pocket off of the current bear market. So coming off of this trend-based, do I have it over here? Trend-based fib extension, and that is where it ended up. So who am I to question? And this big one up here is the bull market golden pocket, you know, off the bull market just before it. I've been hiding those guys because they're not really in play just yet. And these red lines, these red spider lines right here, are coming off previous bull market top. These are like the spider lines of the apocalypse right here, which I hope and pray it does not reach that point, because I mean, obviously here's zero basically, so anything below that is just unthinkable. But you know, if it's almost impossible really to get to that. I mean, unless the entire market just absolutely crashed in the next couple months, and it went down to like 3,500, it'd be pandemonium. And I imagine it wouldn't just be Bitcoin by itself either. So that's just neither here nor there. This little orange line, as you can see, is just going off the tops on this bear market. And I've had it there for a little bit. We're finally starting to approach it though. So it's a curiosity that I have just chilling over there, just to kind of see what happens when we get there. But, you know, coming back over to the 12-minute real quick, seeing where we're at right at the moment. Money flow crossing into the red, although VWAP trending up. RSIs, just a hint to the downside. Kind of canceling out and going sideways. It is the evening though. You know, we did have a couple little jumps throughout the day. You know, from our low, we did reach up a respectable 7%. As you can see, money flow coming up, up, up and away. So that is generally what is going on with Bitcoin right now. And for any of you guys who are trying to play the Ethereum merge, you know, unless you've kind of been in crypto for a while and you've seen like big events like this happen before, you know, everybody will say it, especially after the fact. But I didn't really make a video about it before the fact, so I guess I'm saying it after the fact too. But, you know, buy the rumor, sell the news. And Ethereum did have its little stint there where it was kind of pumping up ahead of time as, you know, the hype was going up. I was even catching, you know, news headlines on Rantingly talking about the Ethereum merge coming up and all that. You know, when it's doing that, that's kind of the time to buy. When you start getting closer to the actual event, then it's generally time to sell. You know, buy the rumor, sell the news. Because most of the people who bought a little bit earlier are waiting for those people who see the news and they're like, oh shit, a big event, like, oh, Ethereum update. Like, oh man, price is gonna go up, I better go in there and buy some. And they're waiting on those people to come in, you know, to buy up their sells. But how are you guys doing lately? What have you been up to? How is the not recession treating you guys? Been trying to prepare a little bit at all? I mean, just saying, simplest thing you could do when you go to the grocery store, just buy a couple extra certain things, non-perishables, just a little extra here, a little extra there. Next thing you know, your cupboards are filling up. You got to find more room. You start pulling crap out of the bottom cupboards, sticking stuff down there. But you know, you never know. Especially look at Europe right now with, I mean, they're preparing for winter like some friggin' grizzly bears, man. They're about to hibernate because everybody's worried about heating and electric. I feel bad for them. I really do. That's a ridiculous situation. You know, the situations that these politicians put their people through is ridiculous. I mean, in this day and age, you know, we're far enough along in civilization that there's just no freaking reason for this. What do we got? Oil, hovering around 85. Silver, 19.5. What's going on with that? A little bit of a rise today. Let's go to the daily here. Still trending down, although VWAP's starting to come back up. RSI starting to head up a little bit. A smidge of a split on the RSIs right there. Almost a repeat of this. You know, between RSI's momentum and VWAP. It's almost a straight up repeat, but even the money flow was kind of coming up. I'd say the only thing that maybe goes the other way is we have this general uptrend, although if this clips, might come into like a momentum squeeze as the money flow comes up, so it could mean a little bit of a break upward in the momentum. But 19.5, man, it's, you know, half decent time to stock up on the silver a little bit. I think, what was the last one I got? I think I got an Assassin's Creed. It's nice. And I know that it's, you know, most people just, they'll buy like the old, you know, circulated junk silver because they just want it for the weight. Half the time, you know, if you get it at the right time, there's not a huge difference in the price. Like if I'm paying $1 more for get something cool that I like, you know, hey, if things don't collapse, you know, I got a nice looking little collection there. You know, got the Back to the Future one. Let's see, anybody doing anything special? I keep seeing like reasonably, I should get off this time frame. I keep seeing reasonably interesting percentages over here on Luna. Oh, I'm just jacking this all up. Like a little 20%er right there. Even a couple little scalps back here. Where do we got? 27, 31. I think a lot of people are still really gun shy about Luna, and at this point, I don't think I would do much more than just trading it. Yeah, a little 11%er over there. But yeah, if you guys didn't catch Crypto Face's video from yesterday, I think it was, or at least I watched it yesterday. It's a pretty good one. It's entertaining, and I recommend checking it out. Just, you know, when you go in there, you just feel like you're hanging out with the gang. And he was talking about this prospectus that he had gotten from his dudes over at Wells Fargo, and it was quite entertaining to go through. I shoot him a message. I got one from BlackRock. I'd be curious. I honestly don't spend that much time reading through them because I'm like, well, whatever, you guys run the world, just don't fuck my money up. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I probably shouldn't say anything bad about them when I just got done saying that they got some of my money. But I'd be curious to go through theirs and see, like, to hear their kind of like sales pitch on the fund, like. But anyway, so the Wells Fargo guys there were talking about, you know, with everything lining up the way it is lately, and, you know, hope being a little absent at the moment, you know, they're pushing to get into more of a dividend position because they're like, you know, if stuff does go down, you know, you're still getting dividends. And I'm like, okay, I kind of get that a little bit, but unless you're putting any significant amount of money into it, I mean, the dividends that aren't going to equal up to shit. So for, you know, most of my small timers out there, which includes myself, you know, is it worth it putting all the hustle in for some little dividends? Maybe, maybe not, but I imagine like me, that's why you are here. Not trying to wait around months and months and months for some small money. Yeah, ETH not looking too terribly different. Matter of fact, at the moment, ETH and Bitcoin just kind of going side by side. Yeah, ETH was going down compared to Bitcoin for a little while here. Let's see, Ripple, what's Ripple doing? A little 15%er on Ripple. Had a decent little pump. Let's go 4 hour. Man, a lot of sideways channel action, but Little volatility moves here lately. This is probably some decent trading in Ripple. Looks like, you know, money flow's starting to taper off a little bit. You know, these moves are going from like a big one to a real quick, sharp one. Let's see, maybe coming up on some volatility, which can be good if you're trading it. We got Polkadot looking a little fugly. What's that compared to Bitcoin? Terrible, actually. Bitcoin kind of had the overextended retest. Solana. Okay. Solana matching. Oh, wait, we haven't even come back to this in a while. What's going on? Oh, the green line. Yeah, that's one of my purchase prices. Man, it's just now getting below my purchase price. That was some pretty decent timing, got to say. We got 22. Yeah, about the same on this. Had a nice little pump going on up there. What's up with that? Had a nice little 50%er right there. Damn, see, I gotta go back to paying attention to VeChain. Because I remember a while back, like when ETH and Bitcoin were kind of meh, I was trading VeChain for a while. And I was getting nice moves like this. Just hitting it with the smoothness. Looks like it may be that time again. Little extra volatility over here in Thor. 63. Man, look at that spike right there. You know, it's tough to catch the falling knife, but if you can hit it, you can hit it. Oh, just getting below my phantom price. 78. Good Lord. Yeah, it's time to go back to paying attention to some of my altcoin trades. Definitely. What do we got coming down now? It's almost, it's kind of looking like short territory right there. Atom. Shit, look at that. Atom's been on a roll. What is up? 177% just on this run. Man, nobody else has that steady uptrend right there. Sideways. Kind of looking a little blow off topish. Actually, no, that's not right. It's like a whack off top, as Crypto Face likes to call it. Let's see, Mana struggling. Sandy. Yeah, everybody else is pretty much looking the same. You know, you got some outliers here and there, but a lot of them, you know, even the money flow is exactly the same. Look at Ape. Ape's got a little going on. 23% right there. Money flow still in the green, although it's looking like potentially, and this could be a nice trade, looking like some bearish divergence. So could be a good short coming up right there if you pay attention to it. Same. Yep, so that's about it. But anyways, let me know what's up. What have you guys been looking at? What have you been trading? How you feeling? How is life? Holler at me in the comments. Otherwise, I will try to see you guys soon here. I've been doing a lot with programming lately. As you can see, I got my little Visual Studio going on in the background there. So been trying to, you know, buckle down on that and spend some more time on it, working on a project that I'm working on. But I shall try to come back on and get some more tutorial videos going. I know I had a few more ideas for stuff to do, and at a certain point, I mean, I guess I could just repeat things that I did months and months and months ago, because I doubt anybody's really going back and looking through the old stuff. Some people, I don't know, some people are catching it. I haven't checked the numbers in a while, but that's kind of surprising how often people catch some of my older ones, especially like from my first week or two of making videos. And those ones get like a decent amount of views, just, you know, relatively speaking. And I'm like, oh no, like I've remade those ones. Like, no, go watch the better one. Go watch it. Like, I need to change the description to be like, go here, go here. Like those first videos, I was fucking up. I was still learning. But all right, remember everybody, be a badass, walk like it, talk like it, live like it, and go check out the playlists. Otherwise, I'll see you guys soon.